Quahog police are worse than you thought. This is the Quahog police force, and for them, stopping Mayor West's insane schemes are somehow less important than writing parking tickets. These are the same cops who will chase you down for jaywalking, but completely ignore explosions happening 3 blocks away. Don't believe me? Let's find out. But first, let me know in the comments what's the most ridiculous thing you've seen police do in the Family Guy. I guarantee it's probably not even the worst example we'll cover today. When Mayor West deployed the entire force to Colombia. In barely legal, Mayor Adam West deployed the entire Quahog Police Department to Cartagena, Colombia, to search for Elaine Wilder from the movie Romancing the Stone. The mayor watched the movie and decided to send every single cop in town to South America to find a fictional character.
Good God! Joan Wilder's sister is being held hostage in Cartagena, and there's not a policeman in sight. I guess it's up to me.
Joe becomes the only officer left to handle all the crime in Quahog, while his colleagues are on a taxpayer-funded wild goose chase in another country. This leaves one disabled cop to protect an entire town because the rest of the force is hunting movie characters. Imagine calling 911 during a break-in and being told all available officers are currently in South America looking for someone who doesn't exist. The fact that nobody questioned this decision shows that this department will follow any order, no matter how insane. The Colombia deployment probably cost the city thousands in travel expenses, hotel bills, and international phone calls, all to find a character from a 1984 romance movie. When police show clear double standards. So get this, there is this one scene where Peter drives up to a toll booth and the cop just has these 2 boards. Okay and not okay. That's it. No checking IDs, no paperwork, nothing. He looks at Peter, sees he's white, and boom, okay, board comes out. Peter drives right through. It's literally that simple and that messed up. Oh, and there you've got Peter becoming a cop for an episode, which is already terrifying, and he pulls Cleveland over for speeding. Cleveland's being totally cooperative. They know each other. Should be no big deal, right? Wrong! Peter immediately starts making up stuff, claiming Cleveland has a knife and he's trying to grab my gun. Well, none of this is happening, but Peter's creating this whole narrative to justify getting violent. And when Joe shows up, instead of stopping his madness, he jumps right in and helps Peter beat up Cleveland. That's your backup, folks. But wait, it gets worse. Joe's showing off some new police scanner in his van to the guys. Peter goes under it first, and it just says suspect. Basic stuff. Cleveland steps onto the exact same machine seconds later, and suddenly it's reading minority suspect and telling the officers to put him down. Oh, and just to make sure they have an excuse, the thing literally throws a gun next to Cleveland and announces, and he's got a gun.
Hey, let me try.
Cleveland, don't!
Minority suspect! Minority suspect! Danger! He's got a gun!
I mean, come on, this bias is even hidden anymore. It's literally programmed right into their equipment. They're not even pretending to be fair about it. Well, the police department recruits family pets. In the thin white line, the department gets so desperate that they recruit Brian Griffin, a talking dog, literally someone's pet, to work as a drug-sniffing officer. This is their solution to being understaffed. Hand out badges to neighborhood pets. Brian's first day on the job, well, he finds a suitcase full of cocaine and immediately snorts some himself.
Don't move, dirtbag! It's Coke! Yes! All right, we got him! This is great. Oh, this is the rush I've been looking for.
And what does the department do about their new officer getting high on duty? Well, nothing. No supervision, no safety protocols. No, hey, maybe we shouldn't let the dog eat the evidence. Brian ends up with a full-blown cocaine addiction while officially working for the police. When your best officer is a cooked-up family pet, well, maybe it's time to rethink your hiring process. Mayor West, criminal in plain sight. Mayor West announces his illegal activities at press conferences, and the police just nod along like it's normal municipal business. His activities include wasting city funds on a solid gold statue of the Dig 'em Frog. The statue probably costs more than the entire police department's annual budget. But instead of investigating financial crimes, they're attending the unveiling ceremony. The police department follows obviously illegal orders without questions, showing they're either completely incompetent or actively participating in corruption. When your mayor commits crimes on live TV and nobody arrests him, well, something is seriously wrong. West once tried to dig a tunnel to China using city funds, and the cops provided security for the project instead of arresting him for misappropriation. Think about it. They stood guard while city workers destroyed public property based on their delusional ramblings of a man who thinks cats are spies. Traffic laws don't apply to some people. Peter Griffin violates traffic laws constantly and somehow still has a valid driver's license. Well, the man treats red lights like suggestions, uses sidewalks as express lanes, and causes more accidents than a demolition derby. His driving record should be thicker than a phone book, but somehow it stays clean. His punishment? Usually just a slap on the wrist, while regular citizens get tickets for minor violations. Peter has driven through buildings, off bridges, and into crowds of people, but the worst consequence he faces is a stern talking to. Episode after episode, Peter causes massive accidents and terrorizes the town, but we never see him getting arrested. The police response is always to show up late, look around confused, and go home. They have an unofficial Peter Griffin protocol where they pretend not to see whatever chaos he's causing. At this point, Peter could probably rob a bank in broad daylight, and the cops would assume he's just making a really large withdrawal. Yo, think about it. Seriously though, drop a comment down below. Do you think Peter Griffin or Homer Simpson would cause more chaos if they swapped towns? I'm genuinely curious about what you guys think about that one. When domestic violence gets ignored and screams of silence, we meet Quagmire's sister Brenda, who's being physically abused by her boyfriend Jeff. Quagmire, Peter, and Joe plan to rescue her because in Quahog, civilians have to handle what should be police work. Officer Joe Swanson shows his limitations when it comes to actual police work. He claims he can't arrest an abuser unless the victim files a complaint, even though he witnesses the abuse directly. Well, that's a questionable interpretation of domestic violence law. He refuses to arrest Jeff despite clear evidence of ongoing abuse, leaving Brenda in danger while Joe makes excuses. Even at the episode's end, Quagmire and Peter have to solve the domestic violence problem themselves while the cops remain missing in action. Joe's real story gets darker. In Joe's revenge, Joe revealed he made this story up about getting shot by the Grinch. He was actually shot by Bobby Briggs during an undercover operation at a heroin lab when his cover was blown. Not only is Joe the only competent cop in Quahog, he's dealing with trauma from an operation that should have had proper backup. His colleagues have been actively protecting a drug dealer who paralyzed a fellow cop. That's corruption at its worst. Joe deserves a medal and a transfer to a department that actually supports their officers instead of sending them into danger alone. When police can't even find their own officers. In the perfect castaway, Peter, Joe, Quagmire, and Cleveland go missing at sea and are presumed dead. Remember, Joe is literally a police officer. One of their own just vanished. So what does the Quahog Police Department do to find their missing colleague? Well, nothing. They hold a memorial service and call it a day. No search and rescue operation? No coordination with the Coast Guard, no investigation. Several months later, the guys get rescued by a random cruise ship, not because of any police effort, but because tourists happened to spot them. The police department couldn't even find their own officer. The system protects nobody. After analyzing these episodes, one thing is clear. The Quahog Police Department exists to protect criminals, not citizens. They follow insane orders from corrupt politicians while ignoring real crime. Joe Swanson carries the entire department on his shoulders, while his colleagues waste time and resources on meaningless tasks. One disabled cop is doing the work of an entire police force. The most depressing part? This level of incompetence is treated as normal in Quahog. And nobody questions why their police force is hunting fictional characters while drug dealers operate freely. The department couldn't solve a crime crime even if the perpetrators confessed on live television while wearing a name tag. Seth MacFarlane might be making a point here about how some police departments operate in real life. So, is the justice system in Quahog run by people who fundamentally misunderstand what police work involves? Or are the cops enforcing a police state because of poor training and worse supervision? Either way, they're making regular citizens handle problems that trained law enforcement should be solving. And that's not how any of this is supposed to work. What do you think? Are there any other cartoon police forces that are even worse than Quahog's? Well, let me know in the comments. And if this video gets enough likes, I'll cover the most ridiculous police department you guys suggest next. Adios!